All right, I'm going to try to make my own fire starting material concoction here. Usually I use, of course, I use Fatwood and cedar and all that kind of stuff just by itself. Usually get a fire, but I want to make some fire starters. I've seen a lot of people do it on videos and things like that, and I want to make my own. And I'm going to try to use everything that I have on hand as a concoction, mix it together to see how good it works. If it fails, it fails. If it works, it works. And I don't know why it wouldn't work, because every bit of it's flammable, but we'll see. I'm going to use a concoction of Maya dust. Here's some of this, also this cedar resin that comes off the trees and things like that, kind of globs up on the limbs. And I'm going to use some, actually this is my neighbor's old Christmas tree that he had thrown out. I snagged it up. It's a some kind of spruce or fir or something, but I've used some of the limbs on it. It is highly flammable. I'm going to mix some of that in there. I'm going to take some of this cotton. I'm going to use some of this vapor rub stuff and some of these Fatwood chips and birch bark. I got some of this birch bark here, and I've got some of it already crushed up because I'm going to save y'all, sparing you guys the shaving down and making stuff. All of it's just broke down already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix all this stuff right here together. These 4 items, kind of just mix it together, get them up there, because I want everything all blended, so as much as possible. And then we're going to heat up this stuff, pour it into a container here, and mix it together, and we'll see what we got. First of all, I'm mixing up this cotton with some of this petroleum jelly. It's vapor rub, but it's petroleum jelly based, everything, so I'm using that. Just kind of mix a little bit in there together. One of my ideas too is to take some of this Maya dust. Let's just kind of sprinkle it in there a little bit. Just kind of mix it with that petroleum jelly stuff. It'll kind of stick to it, stick around to it a little bit. Stick to that cotton a little bit too. Maybe overdoing it, but hey, you know what? When it comes to getting the fire in shitty conditions, I don't think you can overdo it at all. And that's really what this is going to be for, is like really get a fire going when you need it. It's something that you can easily strike on a ferro rod anyway. All right, that should be pretty good. Stuff looks all right. Take that out of there. Put that in there. All right, kind of my next step is, see, I got some birch bark crushed up in here. Take some of this Fatwood. Just little pieces, little sticks, just little pieces, shavings. This Maya dust, we're going to make it good, and crush up some of this stuff right here. I'm even leaving the little sticks in there, maybe not too big of pieces. I want them to be broke down small. Smells good. All right, I'm just going to put this stuff in here. I'm going to get this stuff melting down. It's all hardened up and everything. It'll be fine. Get stuff turn it down though. I don't want it to burn. Get too Starting to get boiled down a little bit. Softening it up real good. Yeah. I'm actually going to add a little of this stuff for flavor. Maya dust in there. Look at that. Yeah. Just kind of stick that stuff around. Kind of boil, you know. Get it mixed in there a little bit. Yeah. May even add a little more to it. Just for funsies, you know. I think that stuff's about melted down too. So, all right. Get that off there in a second. All right, now my idea here is just get this in here. Let's put a little of this stuff mixed in there. And you can see that stuff right there. It's kind of thick. We're gonna pour it in there. Get as much of that out we can. Very piney, very piney. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this stuff up with this. It's pretty warm. It's plastic, but it's working. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of line the bottom of this a little bit. Big chunk of it. Get that mixed a little better. But I don't want it to be total saturated. Okay. In there because I'm going to keep it in there and carry it in there. So let's put some of this stuff on top. Kind of get that melded in there a little bit. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to smash that down. Let that sit in there. I'm going to mix some of this stuff in there too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this off here. And we're going to let it cool down, and we're going to see how good it's going to start a fire with here in a second. So I'll get back with you when it cools down. Well, it didn't take long for it to cool down. It's kind of cold out here. It's not too bad actually. It's like 50, 52 something. Anyway, figure I'll show you that. It's still a little warm in there because this is pretty much thicker, but that's all of it together mixed in there. And keep that in there, but this stuff, yeah, and it's pretty hard too, so kind of soft a little bit, but get a piece with that see how long it burns, see how good it burns. Yeah, I just wanted to do this for fun. You know, and to make a fire starter, you know, to have something that's gonna be good for getting a fire going, a good sustainable ignition source to get a fire going, you know. So, and I used all the elements in the arsenal that I have right now. So I'm like, that's gonna crack. Birch bark, Fatwood, cedar sap, not cedar. Should have put some cedar in there actually, some cedar chips, but pine sap, Vaseline soaked cotton ball mixture. You know, Maya does from the Fatwood. You know, little bits of Fatwood shavings and just little chunks and birch bark and all that, and that seems to be working rather well. And that's just, like I said, it's just some chunks, you know. It's not all prettied up or anything, but it'll go in like a little sack or something. So we will see how long that will actually burn. I don't have a timer on it or anything, but if you can see that, but it's got a lot of black smoke to it. A lot of black smoke between that sap and that birch bark and all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what it is, just kind of a mixture of gunk, you know. But that's kind of what I was going for. Not worried about looking at making it look pretty, and this stuff's all hardened up right here. Yeah, I'm not making it look pretty or anything like that. This is making it look functional, be functional. And like I said, it'll go in a little bag, something that's burning a long time. So, I mean, it should be able to get something going there. And if you have to use the whole piece in a serious damp situation, then by all means, you know, you got that. If that gets hard in there and everything, you just pry that whole piece out of there. So, keep it in a tin like that. Get your Ranger band around it or something. Good to go. So I just wanted to give that a try. And so far, you know, it looks like it's burning well still. Just a little mixture of everything. Anyway, keep it heavy, y'all. This was working good.